Hey, good morning. Happy Monday morning. Um, Back at it again this week with another kind of a Monday mindset tip. And today, I really want to talk about uh, creating a space that is conducive to your productivity, that really fuels that productivity and gives you the energy you need, whether that's some peaceful energy, whether that's some confident energy, whether it's like totally hyped up energy, right? Your environment matters so much, friends. I think sometimes we think, oh, well, I'll just get this done real quick, or it doesn't matter if the kids are in the background, being crazy. I can get this one little task done, or I can make this phone call, or I can work on my money, whatever it might be. But the truth is your impact really does impact your focus. It impacts your mood, right? And so, um, trying to get something done that might need some quiet energy, but if your environment is anything but quiet energy, right, you're going to be really distracted and you're not going to be as productive as what you hoped to be. I say, think about like trying to bake a loaf of sourdough when a hurricane's happening, right? Like it can be done, but it's not gonna be pretty, right? So, um, it's not your productivity, getting prepared to take on a task. It's not about like this willpower or this motivation, in my opinion. It's really about how do you set yourself up for success. We talk about this a lot. Um, when you create kind of this ritual around your work, when you create this ritual around your environment, you're really telling your brain like, hey, it's go time. It's time to take on this activity. Small cues, just these little kind of like markers can really signal your brain to shift gears. So I want to talk about some like practical steps that you can take to really set the mood for whatever task it is that you want to do. Maybe you need to get on the phone and make some phone calls for your business. Maybe you need to work on your money, right? Maybe you've been kind of ignoring it. Maybe you haven't been working on your money plan. Um, it doesn't matter what the task is, right? Here's some practical steps to really put you in the mood to get that done. And here is something else that I want to suggest is not every task that we do, not everything is supposed to be like super enjoyable. It's not necessarily really sexy, right? It's not something that we really look forward to. That's why these steps are even more important. This is meant for those tasks that we kind of have to ramp ourselves up to do, right? So the first step that I want to talk to you about is really scheduling the time. We've had this conversation before, but it is really important to block out that time for whatever task it is that you're working on. Don't just say like, well, I hope when the kids are napping I'm going to be able to make some phone calls, or I hope after supper I'll be able to work on my money, right? um, because it's not going to happen, right? Hope doesn't pay the bills. Hope doesn't move your business forward, right? Taking action does. And so putting it on your calendar, making it a non negotiable, it's like you're making this appointment with yourself. You're saying, this is important to me. So I'm going to make it happen. Second tip, you'll even see behind me, I've got like my essential oils, like warmer here. I've got a candle. Lighting a candle, plug it in your diffuser, right? Scents are really powerful. So when you light a candle or you plug in your diffuser, you've got your wax melts going, right? I want you to pick a scent that really matches the energy that you want, right? So if you're looking for calm, then pick, maybe some lavender, right? If you're looking like for some energy, citrus smells typically do that. But lighting that candle and again, keeping it consistent that this is the ritual that you do every time you do these tasks, it starts to trigger that brain, right? And it starts to bring in the energy that you're really looking for. Another great thing to use is music or sound, right? Play some soft music, some nature sounds, even some white noise can be really powerful to kind of trick your brain into doing the tasks that you want to get done, right? It's It's about creating focus, that we all need, right? Life is busy. We oftentimes are unfocused because we've got a million things on our to do list, right? And so choosing some music or some sound kind of helps bring our focus to the activity that we're working on right now, right? Sometimes, when I need to get something done, I turn on some heavy metal and I blare it. Like, if I need to get the house cleaned or I've got to knock out some emails or some admin tasks, man, if I just put on some loud music, it triggers my brain and it gives me like that hyped up energy, right? So I can move through my tasks a lot easier. Lighting's another really powerful tool that you can use. So turn on your favorite lamp, open the blinds, let in some, natural light in. If I've got some like fairy lights all over because I like that energy, I like the fairy lights. So I use those during certain tasks, right? Another thing is gather your tools, have everything ready to go before you sit down, right? So again, this could be falling into that scheduling. Schedule 5 or 10 minutes, right, to line out your phone numbers if you're making phone calls, right? Take a few minutes to, you know know what banking apps you're logging into, right? Have them ready to go so you're not sitting down thinking, okay, now I need to get ready to do my task, right? You've already taken the time to get ready. Now you're moving into just doing the task. So have it all ready to go. Know where your laptop is, have your tools, your pens, your drinks, your snacks, whatever it is, have them ready to go. So you not getting up and disturbing the flow. Tidy up, you know, quickly just take some time to clear the clutter out of your workspace. Oftentimes, when you've got a tidier workspace, your brain is less cluttered and it can focus the task on hand. Even if you're working like at the kitchen table, push everything away, clear your space out. And lastly, really set your intentions, right? Before you start, take kind of that deep breath, and ask yourself, what energy do I need to get this task done? Do I need some more peaceful energy? Do I need confident? Do I need to really be fired up, right? Set that intention so what candle to light, what oils to have diffusing. Maybe you use some mantras and everything, right? Another really powerful piece is to smile when you're doing all of the tasks, because it really does kind of like trick your brain into thinking, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, right? um, Remember, your space really should give you the energy that you need for getting the task done. No matter what it is, sometimes you need a calm energy. People tell me it's so interesting that a lot of times when I'm doing trainings, when I'm on sessions with clients for, coaching, when I'm talking about, the wellness store, when I'm doing all of this, people tell me that I've got this really peaceful, calm energy about me, which seems a little crazy because I don't consider myself like this peaceful, calm person. But it's this energy that I draw in when I'm doing these tasks because it's powerful, right? A lot of times there's a lot of people, when I'm talking to them, it's not peaceful energy. So that's the energy that I need to bring to help them feel more peaceful, right? And so it's not only about you, but it's about who's on the other line. Who are you talking to, right? Um, so in this Monday morning, my challenge to you this week and for now on, right, is to go through these steps that I gave you, tips. So scheduling your time on your calendar, lighting a candle, using your diffuser, using those wax melts, right? Using music or sound, look at your lighting, gather your tools, tidy up your space, set your intentions, right? All of those, right? Every time you go to do a task that maybe doesn't feel super exciting, I'd really love to hear in the comments like what you use, what you're trying. Remember, folks, just because you do it one time doesn't mean that it's going to work every time either. You have to kind of figure out What do I need today? That's why setting your intention is so important. What do I need today? What task am I doing that is going to require a different type of energy from me? And what energy do I need to be projecting out as well? And so take note, write it down. What are you doing that works well? What doesn't work well? And then be consistent with that every time and notice how the activity starts to feel a little bit more enjoyable. Maybe you start to feel a little bit more productive. So remember, you deserve a space that really supports your goals and supports your energy. So you have the ability to create that. So that's my challenge to you, is go create that space this week. All right, friend, have a fabulous week. I'll see you again on Monday. Bye for now.